All right. What's up, everyone? We're back from the abyss known as Florida. No, all kidding aside, it was one hell of a trip. I think it was like 9 days, 6 cities, like six different fields. We had the two minor league complexes, Yankees, Mets. I went through it all. So now, with all that being said, and about 2 days dead in the car, I have returned just in time for opening day tomorrow. It's really a quick turnaround considering I was just there last week in Port St. Lucie. What feels like a few days ago was already like a week ago. And with Steinbrenner Field and the Yankees, it's even longer now. Haven't really been there since the previous Monday. So, well, Sunday technically, but who's counting? So, it's definitely been an interesting journey for sure. I'm not going to sit here and spiel about that all day, obviously. I definitely could, but I don't think that's beneficial to anybody right now. So I'm gonna go through like stuff I saw, like I did last time with Yankees and Mets. Now, give me a few minutes. I'm gonna get this link out now so other people can watch it as well. But I am gonna get into the specifics of how I got the news about JC Escara. Yes, I did break it. For those of you that don't know, I had the news first that the Yankees were going to take Escara before anyone reported it. A few of my friends had it a few minutes after me, like 15 to 20 minutes after. But if you check the timestamps, yes, I did have it first. Um, so that's that's what I would say. But how it happened was very, very interesting. So it was a day that I kind of expected something to happen just because I woke up that day and Carlos Carrasco, they basically said had a spot on the roster. Um, so then I was starting to think, I was like, okay, well, that means we're going to start doing other decisions probably. And then as that went on, I started seeing more and more stuff unravel. Then there was a tweet from Greg Joyce that was like, expect roster decisions today. So at this point, I'm like, okay, well, this is going down today. How am I going to figure this out? Because I was keen on breaking this story for a while because I had a feeling it was heading in this direction. And that's what I was hoping would happen. And once it happens, I was like freaking out real time. I'm like, am I going to get this first? What's going to happen? I don't want to be beat on this. I got to break a story. So, God sent to me, what ends up happening is that someone messages me right around the time you want to receive a message, and that's exactly what happens. I get a message, so it's close to the situation. This is one of the people I was hoping to hear from, and I do. I don't even double check it because I know it's correct because this source is close to him. And it's one of the few people I would trust outside of him to give me the news. And he gives it to me, and I put it out there, and boom. And to those that want to undersell what I did, that's fine. But if you don't want to undersell and you understand the real grittiness and work that goes into getting scoops like that, then be my guest and we'll have a good time when you meet me in opening day or something. But real talk, Escara, great kid, great story, phenomenal. Like one of a, you could say, if my career was like just getting started, you could say it's a career defining moment. But I've been in this for a little while. If it ends up resulting in something like more, then it's a career defining. But for me, it's just another day at the ballpark, just a little bit more fun than other days. So he's going to be the backup catcher, play other positions. I mentioned this on the show before, so we know what he can do. But so what else happened with this Yankees roster besides the breaking of the Escara, which I did in Florida on the last day of my trip, by the way, which was very, very, very nice surprise, may I add. But I gotta try to find some type of thumbnail for this. I think. Well, let me see what I can do with that. So, Yankees and Mets opening day or something. But so I'm gonna get this link on other places too. Hold up. Hold up. Let's get that soon so everyone can see it. But um, I want to say that I'm extremely thankful for everyone that's supported my journey, like I've been saying. And it's just something I'm very thankful that I get to do it still to this point. It's been a fun few months now, getting into 10 months area, or 10 weeks, shall I say, in terms of what I've been doing. So I appreciate every little bit of support. So, with that being said, what am I going to do? Yankees and Brewers play each other tomorrow, and it's going to be a lot of familiar foes. Like I mentioned with Ricky Ricardo on my podcast, we have Devin Williams closing against the Brewers, and then you may have Nestor Cortez pitching game 2. That's what it looks like right now. As Ricky Ricardo said, I'm definitely going to have to get that clip because he was so right about that. He's like, watch Murphy put him in game 2. And I was like, we're going to have to save that. So that's definitely going to save for Saturday, I would say. But regardless of that, I would just say that I'm looking forward to that. Just having baseball back. Do I really think it's going to be the best year for the Yankees? No, I don't. But at the same time, you never know what could happen. So that's what I would say with that. And then I would go from there. But in terms of like challenges for the Yankees, there's a lot of them, obviously. I don't like where their rotational depth is at. So the rotation we don't need to talk about because we kind of already saw where this was heading. So that's what I would say with that. Unfortunately, bullpen is interesting, and I have to say I am happy that the Yankees had Gomez make it. Definitely, I think he deserves to get a pen spot. Hedrick was definitely controversial, especially considering the fact they already were going to carry Yarbo, which I think is an interesting move. Doesn't really cost too much. Low risk, high reward. You know, he can go a few innings. He can save the bullpen in the pinch. Is he going to last the full year? Probably not, but we know what Yarbo can do. And he's definitely followed the Yankees before. So they'll definitely like not having to face him, I would say. But yeah. So we'll see how that works. And then Whiter gets a spot, Weaver gets a spot, and then Hedrick, like I said, he gets one. Cruz gets one. Devin Williams gets one. And then we're off to the races. So I would say that I would say that the Yankees bullpen's in a very, very good spot. So I think that's the least of my concerns with them. The lineup's definitely concerning. Now, this whole thing with Reyes making the team, I kind of saw it coming. I talked about it with Chris Stacy when I got over to West Palm last week. I would say that it was kind of like expected almost in a sense during this last week because it became abundantly clear they didn't want to they didn't want to carry Peraza. Now Peraza's still in limbo, and the Yankees are still searching for a bat. They took Ben Rice. They're going to take Jason Dominguez. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. But third base with Oswaldo Cabrera is going to be a big test for him. So we'll see how he does. So it's just like I just don't think it's enough. Like you're gonna have Ben Rice DH now, which is like okay, I guess, but not fully ideal. Tom Smith gets cut. We did talk about this last time, I believe, like as I was like kind of manifesting the Escara situation. So that's what I would say with that. And I do think that could take place there. But anyway, so that's what I would say with that. It's just like the Yankees to me, like they got to at least take 2 out of 3 from Milwaukee. It's going to be Peralta versus Verdone. So you give a slight edge to Peralta, sure. I mean, is he capable of being better? Yeah. I mean, Peralta's a guy. He's going to strike out a lot of guys. He's going to give up a few bombs here and there. He'll walk a few batters, but when he's on, he's on. Kind of the same thing with Rodon. So it's either going to be like a low scoring game or it's going to be a lot of home runs. Like I said, I like Austin Wells leading off. Goldschmidt leading off, but I guess against lefties, I don't really know what else they would do. They want to do Volpe, Jazz, or Dominguez, so that leaves you with Goldschmidt. Not going to do Wells against a lefty, which I understand. So you're going to have goalie at first. I want to see what Bellinger does. I'm really looking forward to seeing if we can get a Bellinger bomb tomorrow. It'll be cool to see if he can get his way into the good graces of the fans. How will Aaron Judge respond after the rough postseason? Jason Dominguez, his first rookie season. How is he going to do? Is he going to be okay on defense? Is his offense going to be what we think? That's going to be a big question mark. Volpe's got to step up year 3. Well, that's the guys that got to get going. Ben Wright is going to have to hold it down. Austin Wells is going to do great. JC Escara, when's Escara's first game going to be? Well, maybe game 3. I don't know who the Brewers are pitching game 3. I could check, but to me, with Escara, like, you're going to want to play him against Rice, so he can hit lefties, and he showed he could do that. But at the same time, his better matchups are going to be against righties still. So if we go to Sunday, game 3, it's going to be 1:35, all afternoon games. Oh, so they are going to go with Savali. Maybe we'll see Escara versus Savali. So we'll check on that. We'll have to see how that looks. So that's my guess when you see Escara. You'll see him game 3 against Savali. But it might take a little while to get him in there. We'll see, depending how Wells is doing. Because they'll have... long trip from Florida. Won't happen again. They'll have the long road trip. I mean, the off day on the Thursday, the Friday, Saturday. So they'll have an off day. So they want to have Wells catch back-to-back afternoon games. I don't know. I guess that's what it could be. So they DH Wells and catch Escara. That's definitely possible, too. So they want Rice hitting against a righty. That makes sense. Or maybe I just figured it out. Watch this. I'm pretty good at guessing lineup and Yankee semantics. So here's what's going to happen in game 3. Game 1 and game 2 lineups will basically be the same, except Wells will lead off. And then you'll have, I guess, Goldschmidt lead off in 1 and 2. So game 3, here's what's going to take place. You're going to have a situation where, we'll do this to Ozzy game 2. But anyway, game 3, you're going to have a situation that Wells is DHing, JC's catching, Rice is playing first, and Goldschmidt's sitting against the righty. How much you want to bet? Then they'll do all their other normal stuff to pencil that in. Chisholm second, Volpe short, Ozzy third, especially against the righty. Dominguez, Bellinger, Judge. Wells will still play, but not in the same area of the lineup. So that's what I would think would happen. I'll say the Yankees win the first series 2-1. I think the first game they might lose, but I think they bounce back and win the next 2. I think Fried against Cortez is going to have a lot of emotions. Now, here's my one thing. Is Caleb Durbin going to make the Brewers opening day roster? That's what I need to figure out before I switch off to the Mets and Caleb Durbin, and I'll give you my Yankees prediction as well. So my Yankees prediction kind of remains the same. Right now, I'm going to take the cheap and easy, no expectation way out. So... oh, wow. They optioned him. Interesting. Okay, so Caleb Durbin won't be there yet. I thought he would have been maybe, but he won't be. So that takes away an intriguing storyline. When does Devin Williams first get a save? I'm going to say Devin Williams gets the save Saturday. We get all our former Brewer Yankee crossovers except Curry Durbin. I think, let's see, Brewers win tomorrow, Yankees win Thursday. I'm sorry. Brewers win tomorrow, which is Thursday. Duh. Yankees win Saturday. Yankees win Sunday. They take the series 2-1. And now they'll go play at home against, I think, Arizona's the next series. So here's my thing here. How am I going to do these podcasts, these segments during the season? Well, it's one or two ways I could do this thing. One, I just go once a week like I have been. I do like every 2 series type deals. Um, and then the third thing I could do is like I do twice a week and do every series. So just once or 2 series. But for now, we'll stay with one. Got a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to transition them a little bit for the new season, trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to do. So I would say that. Yeah, I was right. So they'll have an off day Monday and they'll play the Diamondbacks the next day. Like 2 off days. This doesn't make any sense. Unless I'm blind, which is definitely possible. Dude, there's no way the schedule's being true. Oh no, there it goes. Okay, so Yankees do play that Tuesday, so we'll see how that goes. We'll also get the first look at Corbin Burns, but I'm not going too far ahead. So what's going to happen with this last roster spot? What's my Yankees prediction? I guess they'll DFA Peraza. Yerry De Los Santos got options, so I don't know what extra bullpen are going to bring up with all the guys hurt. I'm not going through the laundry list of injury updates. If anyone wants those, they can check Yankees PR. Normally I would do it, but it's just like way too much. I don't have time for that. So Schmidt will be back, and Hamilton will be the closest to return. And after that, it's going to be like a never-ending avalanche storm. So yeah, we'll see. So Peraza, like I said, I think he's going to get DFA'd or traded for a bag of baseballs, unfortunately. Hey, Nathan, what's up, bro? Fire away with those questions, brother. I'm on my Yankees part now. So Peraza, I think, is going to get released or traded for not much in the next 24 hours, I guess now less. The Yankees have made it abundantly clear they don't want him on the roster. Do I think that's the right decision? Not necessarily, but they want Pablo Reyes, who is a career journeyman, 31 years old. They think he can play a little outfield. I guess he can. It's a righty bat. But should I join the show live? No. Maybe another time, but not now. I'm kind of making this one quick a little bit. I'll probably end at 8. So, well, what are they going to do for that extra righty bat? I don't know. I have no idea. I have zero clue. I just don't think it's going to be Peraza because they've made every indication clear that they don't want to carry Peraza. Basically, everyone has been guaranteed the roster spot besides Peraza. What do you think they'll do with DJ? I have no idea. He's another one that's, I guess, close-ish, probably like on the Schmidt and Hamilton timeline, maybe go after them. I think they should DFA him. I think his better days are behind him. I don't think he has much left to offer, but at the same time, like, will they do that right away? Probably not, unfortunately. So that's a problem. But realistically speaking, he'll probably get a few more bats and they'll send him on his way around the All-Star break if he's healthy enough to even get enough looks by then. That's my guess. Maybe sooner because, like, this is a dire situation. But again, they don't really have much else, which really is a detriment to their lack of depth in the third base area in the minors. Because once again, George Lombard is fantastic, but he is not ready to play this season. So that needs to be put to an end. And we might see him next year, but don't expect that this year. That's not going to be the answer this year. How are they going to solve that problem? I don't fully know. I know they tried to get Mark Canha, apparently. They weren't able to. I know Mitch Haniger is out there. I know that Joel Sherman was saying Espinal is like to register expect the Yankees from all like nothing's going to happen in the first 9 days of the season. That's going to take them out of contention. They will fix this to go on July. So the Dodgers are a chance. Why fix it later? We can fix it now. It will be too late, but stop this underdog mentality, Yankees. You're the Yankees for a reason. Yep, my friend is very upset the Yankees aren't doing anything. I totally understand because I think they're been very inactive, unfortunately, now for a little while. And, like, they have a lot of holes in this lineup. They're missing a bench spot for one, even though they should just take Peraza. They're missing 2 starters in their lineup. Like, maybe one in theory, but third base is definitely questionable. Let's go Oswaldo. And then the third, they're missing 2 starting pitchers. So, I mean, however you want to shake it, this team's really beaten up. And they're missing a bunch of bullpen arms I forgot about as well, although I guess none of them are high leverage except Ian Hamilton and Jonathan Loáisiga. So there's that. And they're missing a bunch of prospects who have Tommy John for the year as well. So what else? I mean, I don't know what else to really say. You're missing your best pitcher. Um, Luis Robert will be fantastic, but do the Yankees want to pay Luis Robert's salary? I'm not so sure about that. And then the only way you do that is if Stanton's out for the year, which is possible, by the way. And I have mentioned that, which I don't fully know yet, but like I'm bracing myself for the worst, not anything good with him. But let's say Stanton was out for the year. Luis Robert makes a ton of sense because you can DH him sometimes. He kills left-handed pitchers, which is something the Yankees need. If Dominguez falters in the outfield for whatever reason, Robert could be right there to back him up. Robert could play center. He could play the corners too. I mean, it does make some sense, but I don't know how much they want to like DH Dominguez, but Luis Robert would make the Yankees a hell of a lot better. Will they actually get it done? I have zero clue. Will he go somewhere else? I feel like he should have been traded a while ago. If he gets off to a hot start in April and May, I could see him getting traded rather quickly since the White Sox aren't contending. Same thing with Sandy Alcantara with another sense, but I don't think the Yankees are on that either realistically because the price will be too high. But those are two teams that are going to make trades early. They're going to make trades often. They're not going to care if they're in or out of it because they're not in it at all. That's the Marlins and the White Sox. So, yeah, I mean, the Yankees, here's my projection, bottom line, and I'll switch to Mets. I don't think the Yankees are a World Series contender right now. I don't think that they'll win the division. I think they'll contend for it, but they won't get it with this current line of construction. I think the Red Sox are the best team in the East. I think the Yankees can scrap for a wild card team, but do I expect them to go to ALCS or compete for a World Series? No, I don't. Not how they're currently constructed. Can I be proven wrong? Of course. Is the American League weak? Yes. Are the Yankees favored to win the AL somehow? Yes. Do I believe that? No, I don't. But can I be made a believer again? Yes, of course. But they need to show me that they're going to take this seriously. They're going to hit well. They're going to pitch well. They're going to do what they got to do. But if they start bad, I won't be that surprised. But the thing is, and I hate saying it, is they just need to tread water. They got to stay in this thing. They got to be in the hunt. And then by the trade deadline, they better make some things happen because if they don't make any moves in July, this team is doomed. And if they can even get that far, then kudos to them. But they got a long way to go. We'll see. Yeah, that's all I got on them. My last thing I'll say is I see like 88 to 90 wins is currently constructed. Maybe 92 with a ceiling. I definitely would have felt better about that before all these injuries, but I'm going to cap them at 88 to 92 as of now. Mets, okay. What happened with the Mets was that Brett Beatty's on the team. I knew he was going to make the team. Luis Angel Acuna Jr. is still on the team. Well, not Jr., but Luis Angel Acuna is still on the team. And then there's a few other things to say about that as well. So here's what I would say when it comes to that. Brett Beatty earned his way onto the Mets roster, had a phenomenal spring training. I went through his stats last time, and there's no need to do it again. He did what he had to do. So here's the Mets roster from the great Tim Healy of Newsday. AJ Minter does make the cut. He's got his health together. Brazoban's a good story. He's going to try to get it together. He made it. Karanek is a guy a lot of people like. Sanger is a guy that made it. Budo, obviously, Reed Garrett, Edwin Diaz, Ryan Stanek. So that's their bullpen. Man, the bats is what you would expect. The outfield, Soto, Siri, Taylor, Nemo, Winker, Marte, Turan, Sanger, and yeah, like I was saying before. So, and then your starting five is Holmes, Miguel, Canning, Peterson, Senga. So, and then you got Alonso, Beatty, Lindor, Vientos, and Acuna. So the Mets lineup's looking stout. I would say this about the Mets. I think that Paul Blackburn's on the IL. So he's going to be out for like 7 to 10 days. He's not going to throw. So then just 25 hours till first pitch. Yep. They are playing in Houston, and the big story going against them is that Cam Smith is making his MLB debut against the Mets. So That's going to be a huge, huge story. Their first game is tomorrow as well. It's going to be Holmes versus Valdez. Give me, I want to say Mets almost. Is feeling a little Metsy there. So, all right. So we're getting Holmes Valdez Saturday. Oh, and for the Yankees, it's going to be Stroman versus Savali on Sunday. Mets. Let me see. Let me see what they're doing Friday. Because they're going to have a 4-game set because they don't have to worry about rains or rainouts or anything. Yankees should be good tomorrow weather though. So I think Blanco's going to pitch against McGill on Friday. Then you might get Hunter Brown against Canning. Then after that, I don't know, maybe Arrighetti against Peterson. So we'll see how it all goes. But that's how things are looking right now for the Mets. And all I can say is that I think they're in line for a good year. Like I said, the Mets win total. I'll probably give them a little more than the Yankees, but they still might not win the division because they have a tougher division. I'll say Mets get I'll put them in the 93 and 95 range. We'll say they get 94 because I just think they're a little bit better. Even with the pitching injuries, their lineup looks way better. If you put Brett at second, have Acuna rove around, you're going to be set, like I was saying the other day. Their pitching needs work, but Soto, Vientos, Nemo, and Lindor are going to be power at the top of that lineup. And then you look at what Brett Beatty can do. And excuse me, I'll be back. Sorry. Yeah, no, McGill. Is it going to be his third in a row? That'd be crazy. But anyway, so he's going to get another look because of the situation that the Mets are in. So Mets 2024 home opener wasn't him. I'm going to have to make me look now. But the Mets, I'm going to say, let's say they split against the Astros. They can go 2-2 just because Cam Smith's going to get them one game. Soto's going to do his thing. You know what's actually pretty interesting? I just realized Soto is playing them again, the Astros again for his first series in Houston, just like last year. Yeah, I don't know if that's true, but anyway. So my Mets' biggest concern, like I said, starting pitching. Let's see what they get after Houston. See what I think there. Oh no, yeah, this is a 3-game set. Then they get the Marlins, will obviously win that. So, yo, what's up, Chris? How's it going, bro? You going tomorrow, Chris? Because I'm not gonna be there tomorrow, but I should be there Saturday, I think. But I'm not going tomorrow, unfortunately. So my 4-year streak of opening days in a row is gonna be ruined tomorrow. From 2021 to 2024, RIP the streak. Next year, I'm going to have to start a new one, I guess. Might not be Yankees opening day, it might just be any opening day going forward. But um, so I do want to get there for like the Freed debut and Cortez reunion, and maybe Williams gets an appearance and to say hello to some people. Yeah, good job with the show, boys. I appreciate it. But in terms of the Mets, I mean, I really want to see how Brett's going to look during a full year of second base. I think it's going to be big for him if they end up giving him the full run there. Yeah, I didn't think you were because if you would have told me probably. But let me know the next one you do. I'll definitely see you out there soon. Um, but like regardless with that, I mean, the reason why I think the Mets are in a better spot is because their lineup's better. Their bullpen's not as good as the Yankees. The rotation is closer than anyone would like it to be right now, unfortunately. When they get Mania back, it could shift more towards them. But if Will Warren could be good for the Yankees, and he's the X factor in the rotation, can Marcus Stroman give that good first half he gave last year? Because that would be enough. Because that might cover for the innings that Luis Hill misses. So you just got to try to go bit by bit, hope for the best. How long can they get out of Carlos Carrasco? I don't know. And the Met fans have known him too. So how long is he going to hold up at this point in his career? I have zero clue. But what I do know is that the Yankees are going to need as much as they can get out of him because the depth after him in AAA is definitely questionable at best. There's not a surefire guy to come in and be that sixth starter right now. They've already gone through three starting pitchers. Carrasco's really their eighth in theory. When you think about what happened with Schmidt not being ready too. So they're definitely in a bind. They're in a tough spot. And we're going to have to see how they look at the beginning of the year. To me, if the young guys hit, the Yankees can get by. If Bellinger hits and Goldschmidt can at least be a semblance of the former MLB self, the Yankees should get just enough offense. Can Aaron Judge hit another 50 home runs or so? Can he give you 7-9 WAR? Then you look at Jazz Chisholm. Can he do what me and Jack were talking about him doing? I don't know about those crazy numbers, but can he give you a 4 WAR? Looking at Anthony Volpe, can he give you a 4 or a 5 WAR? He's been close at like 3 something last year, I think. But like, how is he going to hit? Is he going to get his OPS up to like to 750, 800 range? That's another question. With the Mets, like, I think because Viento's going to be consistent like he was last year is going to be their biggest question. You know, Alonso should bounce back. It's not a contract year anymore. Lindor. He might not start the season great, but he'll end it. He'll be great the whole way. Nimmo's Nimmo as long as he's healthy, which he's definitely fighting through a little bit. Marte is hanging on, but he'll still have a decent role here and there. We'll see how they mix and match him in the outfield with Wanker and then McNeil when he gets back healthy. Because I think that Brett Beatty should be given a full runway a second again. I really do. I want to hopefully they do that for him. And then we'll see. Can Jose Siri step up? Can I get some of that swing and miss out of his game? If these things happen for the Mets, and what Juan Soto are the Mets going to get? Are they going to get the Soto that almost won the MVP last year? Are they going to get the guy that had a little bit of a down year with San Diego? And I say down year, but his standards still like 30 and 100. But his OPS is like almost always over 900, so it's not. So we'll have to see what he's going to do. Because I'm going to be interested to see how that field affects him at City because he's going to get way more oppo bombs, but he's going to lose some pull bombs. So is that going to equal more home runs or is it going to equal less? I don't know. RBIs probably in a similar situation. I would imagine he'll have just about as many people on base around in front of him. And then Alonso's going to get the Mets home run record probably, so that's cool. Acuna Jr., how's he going to look? You know, that stuff Lindor was saying is definitely raising an eyebrow to me about how he's only playing like when it means something, but it's got to always mean something because he hasn't established himself in the MLB yet. So that's a problem. Will they get him going? Will Mauricio do anything this year? When does Alvarez come back? Can Torrens hold it down? Like, these are some Mets questions I would have. And I think their outfield obviously still is in a really good spot. Like, Serial helped center a little bit. And Nimmo, if he's healthy enough, will be in the outfield too. So also check out for Nunez. He'll be back sooner rather than later. He'll maybe only goes in the 15th AIL. Let's see if the Mets put out some moves. I'm sure they did, but I'm going to have to check to see what's going on with that. Yankees tweeted something. Oh, wallpapers for tomorrow. Well, here we go. Nope, just a picture of Soto. Maybe Mets PR would be on it. Let's see. But yeah, yeah, nope, not there. But um, I would say that it's definitely something cool. Um, I think I'm looking forward to another good season. So I think the Mets and Yankees have a season. So I think the Mets and Yankees have a cap around the DS right now. Yes, I do. Unfortunately, with definitely more wiggle room for the Mets, but the problem is that their competition is much tougher, as everyone knows. So that's something that I would say is a problem for them. I think the Sanger story is really cool. His first time making it to MLB is 27, a little bit younger than my guy Escara, but um, Joseph Max Karanik. Let me see. He's barely played in MLB, but he's going to make the roster this year. He's 27 years old too, so we'll see how he does. This is going to be a good shot for him. And the Senga and Senga thing definitely got me tripping for the Mets a little bit. Uh, that's what I would say there. But he was a draft round pick for the Mets in 2018, and he's finally making it after all this time. So hats off to him, and um, we'll see what happens. But tomorrow's going to be fun. Everyone should enjoy the fact that baseball's back. Yeah, Rice is a DH. He's got to be. I wonder if they would do it against lefties, though. I have a lefty DH lineup. Actually, oh, wait a minute. No, it's I got to think. Yeah, that's the thing. We need righty hitters, but like, everyone have fun tomorrow. Enjoy it. It's going to be a great day for baseball to be back, especially in our area with the Yankees. Mets will be down in Houston, but a lot of excitement for Soto's debut. I understand, just like the Yankees had that last year. Now with the Yankees, they're not getting free tomorrow. It's going to be Rodon, and yeah. So Rice, I do think is a DH. I'm trying to think who they would do a lefty because that's what gets tough. Do you DH Reyes against lefties? I don't know. Or do they have Reyes play a position? They DH someone else to give them a day? I have no idea, bro. They just don't have enough righty hitting, which is very evident, which is why they're still surging or something. I don't know what they're going to find at this stage in the game. If Peraza is even going to see tomorrow, if they begrudgingly put them on, do they go three-man bench and do an extra pitcher? I'm starting to think that's possible. So they just go Reyes, Escara, Grisham, and then they add an extra pitcher to go 9-3 instead of 8-4. I definitely won't rule that out. They've done it before. I just don't know like who that extra pitcher would be because like they're kind of going through it with that too. I mean, they already optioned Yo Santos, so I don't know if they could switch that already. I don't know, but we're gonna see how that goes. But yeah, I would say Rice is your DH 5 of the 7, 6 of the 7 days. Yeah, I think that makes sense, bro. Yeah, they need righties bench hitting badly. I don't know how else to really say it. Um, yeah, it's bad. They just don't have enough hitting. Like it's not good. So I'm very worried about this team because of that. And I don't trust enough of what they have right now. I'm gonna have to see it before I believe it. And I don't know, like I said a million times, I don't know what type of move there is to make. Like who are they gonna get with less than 24 hours till the first pitch is thrown? I have no idea. I'm good, but I'm not that good. So I don't know. I don't have any news there. I don't have any surprises. I'm not being funny. I'm not holding anything back. I honestly have no idea. For the Mets, it's all systems go, I guess, until Mania returns and maybe Blackburn and then Montas down the line, and then Nunez and a few other things. But um, yeah, I just have a better feel with them right now. But we'll see. It's early in the year, so will I do this once a week? You know what? Yeah, it's been a crazy week, so give me a bit. I'll do a recap after the first 7 games for each team or 6. So thanks everyone for checking in. Subscribe to our Esquina. Subscribe everywhere: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Follow. Same thing with me. I'm Julian Gallardi. It's Julian Gallardi 1 on Twitter. It's Julian Gallardi 11 on Instagram. So thanks everyone. Have a good one.